Hey you guys, it's Amy Gretchen. Welcome back to another Project Life Process video. In this video, I'm working on week 8 from 2017. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm kind of separating photos that I want to put on the main page, and then I'm going to bring over my insert. I think I do that now, and I've got more photos for that. So this was my birthday week. And so I knew that I would, I definitely took more photos that day to document the day. And so I wanted to do an insert. And right now I'm just cutting up my 3x4 pictures. If you guys are interested and have not seen the tutorial I did that shows you how to create the borders, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. I will link it below so you can find it easier, but it shows you how to create those borders that are even all the way around. I show you how to create that in Photoshop and also Lightroom. So like I said, if you are interested, definitely check those out. So I've got my 3x3 photos, and I thought I would tell you, I'm not sure if I've ever explained this to you. Typically, either the 3x3 photos or the 3x4 photos are photos that I took with my iPhone. And the 4x6 photos are typically photos that I took with my Canon. Not always, like that ski picture I took with my iPhone, but typically that is the way that I do it. I do use both cameras during the week. I do see value of having both, but I definitely like the convenience of my iPhone when I am out and about. So the next thing that I did is I grabbed over the story kit, the Bond story kit from Ali Edwards. This was from, I think it started February 15th. So I'm not sure when this video is going to be going live, but it's a great kit. If it's still available, I would definitely suggest getting it. I've really enjoyed it. I'm looking through some of the cards, but as you see, I've kind of chosen cards already that I thought they actually came from the Studio Calico kit from February. And as I was looking through them, I thought, oh, these kind of work really well together. And so I put them in the sleeve like the week before, just in anticipation that I would use them for this week. So you'll see that I actually do end up using all of them, but that's something that could definitely be moved around. Just right off the bat, I want to apologize for this moment of blurriness. I have no idea what happened, if it did it on its own, if I accidentally hit it. I'm not sure. It's really frustrating, but in a few seconds, it definitely will go back to being focused. So I apologize and thank you for your patience. So what I've decided to do, and I think I explained this in week 7 a little bit, where in order to get more stories told, I like to add stories directly onto the photo. So I will do it with type. You could do it like writing directly on your photo. I typically don't do that. Or you could do it by adding something like I'm doing here. I'm just adding some cardstock and I'm going to be telling my stories that way. So I did this actually. If you've seen any of my 2016 Project Life videos, you'll see that I've done this technique several times. Instead of, let's say, like a rectangular shaped piece of cardstock, I'll do like a half circle. I really like adding that right onto the photo. I think it adds a little bit of interest because it's more of a shape. But either way, you could do it either way. You can tell your stories anyway, but I like to be able to do that so that I can tell more stories from the week. So that's one of the reasons why I go ahead and do it. So what I'm doing right now is I had this stamp set from Ali Edwards. I bought it a little while ago. It's called Brave. I'm not sure if the actual stamp set is available or if it's only available with digitally, but I will check that out on her website and I will link to it so you can see if that is available. I've really liked it. I like the sentiments on there. It was not a story kit, so it is something that you is probably still available in her shop. So I used the words from that it said loved, and the other one I used, it said awesome. And the ink that I decided to use for this was also from Ali Edwards. It was a dark or a deep navy color. I absolutely love it. I bought those when she was having a sale, and I really actually bought it because I really wanted that navy color, because that's a color that I don't have. But I was also in the market. So if you guys are in the market and you're looking for a few inks, I would definitely suggest Ali Edwards. I like them for a few reasons. One of them is I really like the properties of they're a pigment ink, and so they sit on top of the paper, but they dry quickly, and I really like that they dry quickly. But also, I feel like once they're dry, they don't rub off. So I have some other pigment inks that are actually really popular. And what I feel like happens is once it's dry, once the ink is dry, I feel like you can still rub your finger over it and some of the color comes off like it's chalky. So I that drives me crazy, because then I feel like it's rubbing off onto my pockets and it's rubbing off. I typically would use it when I would make greeting cards, and I didn't love it. So I'm really happy to have found these Ali's inks. She has some really great colors, but I really like the properties. So it's definitely a win-win if you are in the market and you're looking for something. I always feel bad suggesting things because I don't want to enable you guys to just buy a bunch of stuff. But if you're in the market, definitely check it out. So you'll just see that I'm going to continue to go through and add the stories on to these photos. And the other little embellishment that I've using, the hearts and those little dots, came from past Studio Calico kits. So I've actually been collecting them over time. They've come now and again in kits in different colors. You'll see that they'll have like a different color palette. And I like little embellishments like that I'm able to use like this on projects like this, but also just that you can go through your stash, like you're looking for something little and that you can go through your stash and you can see that you have it. And I feel like typically you can make like any color work for anything, right? I just so happen to have some oranges and some blues, and so that's kind of the embellishments that I decided to use. So I don't always try and color code things, like try and make everything match, but because I typically am using kits, they always have cards that are similar, or they have embellishments that typically, have some of the same colors to it. So that's why sometimes when I'm not trying to, things tend to match, and it's typically because they are coming from a kit. So that's why, if you are interested, that's one of the reasons why I actually like having a kit, because I enjoy not having to think about it, but knowing that things coordinate. Even though things aren't like matching perfect, I feel like they just kind of coordinate because everything is based on a theme. So one of the things that I was trying to decide with this spread, and I guess it's something that I try to decide every single time I approach Project Life and doing this spread, is what stories do I want to tell? And there were very specific stories that I definitely wanted to tell this week, stories that probably could use their own Project Life spread. So I was trying to debate, how do I want to do it? Do I want to make my own journaling card? Do I want to find a journaling card that's already made? So you'll see in a minute, I actually I took that one journaling card and I decided to, I took a little bit of a break and I did my journaling. You can see that here. And that card in particular, I decided to write about my birthday. It wasn't like this is what we did this day, because I felt the photos really shared a lot of that story. It was more like I'm 41, and this is how I feel at age 41. So I was kind of reflective, and I really liked that style of journaling for kind of moving forward and kind of wrapping up my 40th year. So that's what I decided to write about. I went ahead and printed that. I printed the type right onto the journaling card. So if that's something that you don't know how to do and you would like to know, I also have a tutorial that will show you how you can print directly onto an already printed journaling card. So look for that in the description below. So I'm using the Bond stamp kit from Ali Edwards. I really like the stamp kit. You should check it out on Ali's site. I don't know when this video is going to go live, so I'm not sure if that's still going to be available, the actual stamp set. But if the digital is, I think it might be worth snagging because there's a lot of great stamps you could use. I mean, even that one that says "My People," like I might have just bought it just for that because I really love that sentiment. I went ahead and I just stamped "Better Together" and I used that blue ink again. I'm going to plug it. I really like her ink. So if you're looking for some, you guys check it out. I'm moving on to doing a little bit more journaling of this photo of my husband and I. That's when we were out for my birthday. I can't even remember the story that I wrote for that, but I like the opportunity to being able to add a little bit more story to the photo. And I try not to do things that are really obvious. I mean, sometimes I do. I try not to do things that are super obvious that when I looked at the photo, I could probably figure out for myself. I try and go just a little bit deeper, even if I'm not going like way deep on everything, if you know what I mean. So I have got two or three more I guess I have 3 more journaling spots and I'm trying to decide. So that photo, you can see that little photo of me that's next to that mirror picture. That was actually my license. So I had to get a new driver's license and I was thinking about putting my old one in here. So I just left that in the pocket just in case. And of course I covered it up because I don't want you guys to have all that information. But I decided in the end, I didn't really need that. That might be something I might slip in later, or actually I could do something else with, but I decided I didn't actually need it in here and that I would actually like to add more story. So I went ahead and I looked through more cards. That card that I have in my hand, or I was touching it, it talked about like, it says an event, it asks for the date, and then it's asking for, like, it says it was awesome or it was no good or whatever. So it's like a checklist kind of a thing, right? So before I get to that one, I've decided to make my own journaling card. So I cut up one and I'm just going to add it to that 3x4 card that I cut up. And then I'm going to take, this is also part of the Bond kit, I'm going to take this chipboard phrase and I'm just going to stick it right on top. I was actually really pleased how everything came together this time. Like I said, I wasn't necessarily planning it to work out the way that I did, but I felt like it all kind of came together. And the spread, like, it really worked out. You know, sometimes I think these are just things that are serendipitous and they happen, and I love it. I love it when you have zero idea how the spread is going to look, and then in the end you realize I love the way it turned out. So the next thing that I'm doing, this journaling card that I made, I decided to, and you guys know that I like doing lists, and I think I talked a lot about this in week 7. I like doing lists because I like adding a little snippet of our week. So not every story needs to be fleshed out. I don't think that it does. And I like getting a little bits and pieces of what's going on in my kid's life or what was going on this week to kind of like take us back to that moment. So I really like that, you know, whether it's like my daughter was, trying out for the cheer team or whatever it is. I can't remember what I wrote, but just a little bits of things that were happening this week and stuff that I didn't have photos for And then this last card, the one thing that you're not going to see about this card, so if you noticed, and maybe you didn't, on the back of this, it is a tealish blue, like a light color. And I was debating about writing it on there. And then I decided, no, I'll just do the white. And then when I went to take pictures of this spread, I thought, you know what? I think I want the blue. And so I went ahead and I rewrote it and I just turned it around. So you're not going to see that in here, and it's not that big of a deal that you don't see it, but you will definitely see it in the photo. So definitely check that out if you're interested in what a difference that make. I think that it adds a lot because it's the same kind of blue that's in the L. So it kind of just fits together. I don't know, like I said, these things kind of happen and you don't really plan on it. So I kind of love the way that works out. So I'm doing one more journaling card. This card it is about how I get to celebrate my birthday every year with my niece, because our birthdays are so close and we have a family party. It's usually me and her that we celebrate. So I just wanted to write about that story. The stamp that I used was also from the Bond stamp kit. Like I said, it's a great stamp kit. And then I used that same blue ink. And I apologize, I can't remember the color offhand, but I will link it in the description below. Then I decided, I forgot that I hadn't done the title card, so I decided to do that, and I decided to do the exact same thing that I did with the photos, just adding a half circle. I messed up. It didn't stamp all the way, and I figured, just stamp it again. It's not that big of a deal. And so quick and easy, I got my title page done. So you guys, this is it for this week. Now, again, the reason why I am not adding the Avery tab onto that insert is because I am waiting to get them from Amazon. I ordered it and then Amazon said they were out of stock. So I had to order it again. So hopefully it will come this week so I can put it on. Like always, if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below and I will definitely get to them. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really enjoy your feedback and your comments, and we will catch you in the next video. Bye.